Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world. And I'm now doing the 60s part, okay, of what I need from the 60s music. And of course, we're starting here with July of 1960 with Rockin' at the Hop, and and Chuck Berry. It's something I need to get into. Now, this is only part one, okay? I'm only going to go from July of 60 to September of 64, and then I'll do the 65 and on up on another day, and also maybe a third episode where I want to talk about some of the albums I might have missed from some of those decades, not just the 60s, but also the 70s, 80s, 90s, and then yeah, and then so on and so forth. You know what I'm talking about. All right. What else did I want to say? Yeah, I'll be making a couple of videos tomorrow. Of course, it's starting the weekend, and yeah, expect at least to see at least. I want to try to do 3 videos tomorrow, so look forward to that. Like I said, part two to this one for sure. Now, it was asked of me on one of my comments that they want to know what source I'm looking at to get my ideas for for this for this, okay? So, let me put this up here and there we go. There's a channel, and let's see, right here it's called The Man and Me, right? And he has a whole series of these most iconic albums released every month of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. You know, he does the whole gambit. And basically, I'm going to have that muted here. I'll go through a little bit of this to give you an idea. Now, I didn't, and you'll see where. See, I don't know any John Coltrane, so I didn't choose any John Coltrane. I didn't choose any Charles Mingus. I know they're good stuff, okay, but I'm not familiar with it. I don't want any Elvis. I'm not much of an Elvis fan, so I should probably get some Sam Cooke. I need to sample some of that to know if I really like it. But the ones I put, again, Muddy Waters, it probably would have been cool to put. But yeah, I started with that because I know I love, Chuck Berry, and I do need some Chuck Berry. And if I ever see these albums, I will get them. Absolutely, 100% for sure. So, so yeah, The Man in Me, and you see that these were done a couple years ago. I'm only choosing certain ones that the ones you've seen the ones that I have yesterday. I put a video. I mean, this will also be going into that playlist, but yeah, you see the ones I have and the ones if you continue to play, but I'm not going to continue to play. I'm going to be doing my list of what and I, it's all a jumble, okay? It's all a jumble because I was trying to do both at the same time, and it was, yeah. And this took a while it takes a while to put all this down because I have to go and make a screen and make like a screenshot, of each one. Make sure that this bottom part is not in there in the picture, to make sure that this is all like normal. And yeah, yeah, it takes a little while, but it's worth it because I enjoy doing it. I just wish I had more time. Time is kind of running out right now. I have to be ready for work in about an hour. I have to leave in about an hour. So yeah. So it does give me enough time to finish this episode, post it, and everything. So yeah. Okay, let's continue with the. I'm just going to get rid of that, and we're going to continue with the rest of these. So that was July of 1960, Rockin' at the Hops. Then I do like Everly Brothers, right? So it's October 60, A Date with the Everly Brothers. Yeah, that's I like again, I haven't heard like these albums per se, okay? It's just that these are bands or artists that I know that I like, okay? That and mind you, before I get any of the 60s stuff, okay, I do want like 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff first. I really do. No offense to the 60s at all, of course, because I still think it's fabulous music, right? But they're just much more interesting music from the other decades that I would rather get first, way before any other artist or group, okay? Like especially like yeah, I don't get me wrong, but if I see these albums from the 60s here, I will pick them up. Okay, let's continue with the next one here with with the soul of Ike and Tina Turner. Now I know this is going to be good stuff. I like Tina Turner. I like yeah, I like kind of this old soul music. That's not, yeah, stuff like this I want to get for sure. Okay, I'm not going to dwell too long on each one, you know. I'm just going to show you and move on. I like Ricky Nelson. There's nothing wrong with Ricky Nelson. Oh, by the way, the Ike and Tina Turner, that's of February of 61. This here is of May of 1961. And yeah, he's 21 there in 1961. So it, I like Ricky Nelson. Why not get some of his stuff? So again, all these albums I don't really know very well. I haven't actually sat down to listen to any of those. But like I say, if I see them, I have quite a few greatest hits. I do have for instance, I have a greatest hits of the Monkees. I have a greatest hits of what's the other one? Buddy Holly. There's like yeah, there's so many great groups that's probably not on this list. That's why I want to do a third part, just to name some of the extra little albums here and there that was not on those iconic albums list. And that's what I was saying. Sometimes it has it on there, and sometimes it doesn't. So but that was my primary source to look for stuff. Okay, I'm gonna continue before it gets too long. All right, there's 20. There's actually 19 in all. I'm gonna be showing here. So yep, the Shadows. I love that instrumental music. I have a cool like three disc greatest hits box set there kind of thing of all their like a lot of their stuff. But if I actually can get like original albums, there's two albums on this one, The Shadows and Out of the Shadows. So two original albums on one CD. And that would be of September of 61. Now we're going to be going into where is it? Next one here. Yep, the next one is January of 62, and we're going with Roy Orbison's Crying. I like Roy Orbison's voice, and I wouldn't mind getting some Roy Orbison, absolutely for sure. So, and then yeah, I want some Bob Dylan, and look how young he is there. His self-titled album, and this is in yeah, March of 62. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Then there's I like the Four Seasons. I love Sherry. I know he can pretty hit. He can hit some high notes there, you know. But I do like that stuff. It's pretty cool. So that was September of 62, and then we're continuing on with why not continue with some more Dylan. Yeah, some freewheeling Dylan. So that is of May of 63. So yeah, we're now in 1963. Yeah, I have quite a bit actually for 63 and 64. There seems to be a couple of good years for good music. So let's continue right along. Since I already got one album of Ike and Tina Turner, might as well get another. So it's going to work out fine. Yeah. Again, if I ever see those, I'll try to keep these in mind. I'll try to condense this list into a little pocketbook. Okay. So when I do go into any like secondhand store, I can kind of okay, I can pick it out and say, I said I want these, and then I can do a proper look and not just rely on my memory. All right, continue going. Uh, albums I want from the from the 60s. Let's go with number 11 here, and In Dreams, Roy Orbison. That is in July of 63. Yes, for sure. You gotta get it. Again, I love his voice. None of these albums I've actually ever heard. Maybe this one I have. Yeah, I think I've heard this album in its entirety. I know all the songs, kinda. No, I would need to listen to it again. But I know I've heard this album a long time ago when I was a young kid. So, Surfer Girl. That's September of '63. Definitely want it. Definitely want it. And then and like right after, I mean, the next month after that. I mean, that's pretty prolific when you can do two albums a month apart. A month apart. And yeah, this is October of 63. Little Deuce Coupe. Yeah, Surfer Girl was September, and this is October. I think that's pretty impressive. It's pretty cool. All right, let's continue. Definitely liked some Kingsman, and of course, Louie. So, the Kingsmen in person. Absolutely. Why not? I know I enjoy them, so that was December of 63. Yeah, which means we're going to be heading into this is February of 64, and for the times they are a changing. Yeah, Bobby Dylan. So yeah, I'm not gonna just collect. If I'm going to collect a one Bobby Dylan, Bob Dylan, I'm going to have to collect them all. So yeah, February of '64, and now in April of '64, and definitely want to start there. The debut album of the Rolling Stones, the self-titled album. So yeah, definitely would love that. Good place to start. Although there's a lot of Rolling Stones I do want to get. They got such prolific. They've been around for so long. They have so many albums, but it would be nice to have some of that early stuff. Now the next one for July of '64, okay, is it's on order. I'm going to be getting it sometime, hopefully in the next week or so, okay. And it's one of the few like studio albums that I don't have besides Past Masters and yeah, A Hard Day's Night. Somehow it just wasn't available. And there was a copy of it, but it was it was in bad condition, it had no booklet or anything, and I do want the you know, in that 2009 remasters in that. Yeah, I want it in that packaging. For sure. So July of '64, Beatles album I don't have. One of. There's only one. This and Past Masters. So let's continue. And I got two more left before I conclude part one. And yeah, I'll be doing the rest of the decade, the second half of the decade tomorrow, because I just didn't have time to go through all of that. Okay. So again, he's on here quite a bit. More Dylan, another side of Dylan. Like I said, if I'm going to get one or two or three, I might as well get four Dylan. So I like Dylan. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this stuff at all. So we're going to continue, and I'm sure in part two, there's going to be some more coming up. Absolutely. Now the last one here before I let you go, because the next one after this would be in February of '65. I already have a sneak peek, so I kind of know what's next. But this is the last one. It's the Animals, self-titled, including their hit single "House of the Rising Sun." Again, I love Eric Burdon. I love that. I love the Animals. I still need to get the first, like the traditional first version of San Franciscan Nights. I don't think I have a good version of that. It's a hard version of that song to get. I have, I every time I try to get it, there's always always have a different version on it, and I'm like, that's not the version I grew up on the radio. They never played that version. They always played the cool one, the one that starts with the dun 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 dun. Dun. It's really cool. So that's it for my list today. 15 minutes, not too bad. I don't want to pass the 20-minute mark on any of my videos for a while. I don't like to make too long of a video. People have, people's time is precious. So everybody, look forward to my videos tomorrow. I love you guys out there. Everybody is special. And one of my videos for tomorrow is basically to celebrate you guys, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so everybody, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because I will love you forever, greatly appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like button, absolutely 100%, and leave a comment. I will do what I can to leave a comment, even though sometimes I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but I try to, always try to be peaceful and positive, and yeah, I love hearing what people think, even if I don't agree with you. Just a quick example, okay? Someone was saying that, giving me recommendations, and they were saying, well, you should check out Nightwish, and it's like, I kind of tried. I'll try again, okay, but I'm not into Nightwish. I don't know why. It's just not a band that appeals to me. I understand. I completely understand. They are talented, 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 and they have great fans and everything. And I don't want to ever disparage them, because they are great. They are great, but they're just not for me. I will give it a chance. I'll listen to. I have a suggestion for one of their best albums, and I'll check that out. But besides that, yeah, yeah, I'm not going to lie and say that I like something when I don't. I got to be honest, regardless of, and I never mean any disrespect. I never mean any to offend anybody ever with any of my videos. Just know that. Also, quick little news. I'm going to I'm going to bring up a couple of subjects in a couple, like music related, 100% music related, not related to anything that I am or I do. Okay, for it's just a topic for education purpose and just commentary, just to give you my thoughts about these songs. Like, yeah, you'll see when the time comes. I just want to give you a warning that it's going to be a little bit more, risque than my normal content. I want to go into kind of the darker side of some of the music that I listen to. So yeah, okay. And everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.